Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome all to yet another session from the Style team. So this is the last session of the academic year 2021-2022. Thanks everyone for joining, especially Dr. Shanmugam or Dr. Shan for joining us, who is part of the Biotech R&D industry, which actually saved the entire world from pandemic. We see many new students joining today, and thanks everyone for joining, and please continue to join our sessions and provide your support and suggestions to improve this. And let's welcome the new students who joined the program. So just for the students who are joining new and for people who join new today, so as you know, STYLE is the program. We call that as it's a short form of so-called Tamil Youth Leadership and Entrepreneurship Program. One of the key goals of this program is to explore and provide opportunities for our students to be better leaders and entrepreneurs and do whatever they want and be better at it, and explore various opportunities. And you would have seen that there are recent program improvements where a lot of student contribution in terms of delivering a welcome address speech or chief guest introduction and vote of thanks in this program. And that's actually inspiring other students, and thanks for all the students who have done that and who's going to do it today. And we always improve ourselves in all the aspects. So one of the key announcement and improvement that we are going to try out today is one of our lead volunteers, Ms. Vishalakshi Nachiappan. She's one of the lead volunteers and our Irvine Tamil Kalvi substitute teacher. She's actually teaching Tamil in one of our one of our Tamil Kalvi schools. And also she's a sophomore student from University High. Irvine has come forward to do a moderator or an anchor role in this session. So let me welcome her and take on the stage, and let me go to the next slide. Thanks, Vishali, for doing it, and let's the stage is yours. Let me go to the next slide.
Hello everyone, my name is Vishalakshi Nachiappan. I'm going to be the student moderator for today. This is my first time, so thank you so much, Saravanan uncle and Prabhu uncle, the coordinators of STYLE, so much. I'm very honored to be doing this role today. So today we have Dr. Shanmugasundaram going to be talking to us. Thank you, Dr. Shanmugasundaram uncle. So today we first have Praveshika Suresh Babu, who's going to be giving our chief guest introduction and the welcome address. Praveshika is in grade 8 right now, and I think she's going to be a freshman next year. So I welcome Praveshika to talk, but I also want to say that she's a key volunteer in our program. She's also a US for Kids water program, spoken English program volunteer. So thank you for coming to give the welcome address, and the floor is yours, Praveshika.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to all of our students here and to our STYLE program parents and so-called Tamil Kalvi schools and other schools. So before we start, I'd like to give a quick introduction about Dr. Shanmugasundaram's excellencies, and I'd like to welcome Dr. Shanmugasundaram. So to begin with, he was a senior staff scientist in Thermo Fisher Scientific, a biotech research organization. He was a domain expert in chemistry of global manufacturing sciences. Not only to mention, he has 15 plus years of R&D experience, including process development, manufacturing experience in the biotech industry. And he published 80 peer reviews, research papers, and obtained 9 patents. He has extensive experience in the dye chemistry, lipid chemistry, and heterocyclic chemistry, including peptide and more. His knowledge in chemical biology, protein science, cell biology, and antibody drug conjugates, also known as ADCs, is unlimited. He is a postdoctoral fellow from University of Texas at El Paso University of Arkansas and National Swinha University. He obtains a PhD, master's and bachelor's degree in chemistry from University of Madras, Tamil Nadu. He lives in Austin, Texas. He's also a former board of director in Austin Tamil Sangha. Last but not least, he's a scientific advisory board member at Liberal Arts and Science Academy. Let's welcome Dr. Shanmuga Uncle. Thank you.
So, hello everyone. Thank you, Praveshika, for the nice introduction. First of all, I would like to give my thanks to Saravanan and Vidya for giving me an opportunity to present my knowledge and share with you guys. So maybe, can I open my presentation?
Yeah, let me stop sharing and you can.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Shan. Yeah.
So can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, sounds good. So the today evening topic is a take on youth future health and biotech industry trend, drug discovery perspective. So this is going to be a new thing actually. So at the end of the topic now, I'm pretty sure you guys will think in a different perspective. So are you guys ready to listen without any distractions? I hope everyone is ready. Are you guys are ready?
Yes, definitely. Just one thing, can you go in presentation mode and yeah.
Okay. This
and
is fine.
For the, yes, perfect. Thank you, Dr. Shan. And for the remaining students, we are going to have a separate Q&A session. So let's hear out what Dr. Shan is going to share. And then we can go in detail some discussions if you have any other questions in the following session. Thank you.
All right. So first, before we see the human biology, how it works and everything, let's see, find your why. So how do leaders inspire others? How do leaders inspire people? So Simon Sinek, he reveals the secret how to inspire people, how to inspire others. So he called it as the golden circle diagram. So this is basically based on the human biology. So he draws the human cycle, explains why some leaders, why some organizations are able to inspire, whereas others don't. So when you look at the diagram, you have what, how, why. So everyone knows what do you do. So what basically refers to products, services, and results. And only some organization, they know how do you do. How means it is the process, workflow, etc. And then why. So why do you do the business? Why mean, why does not come, it is the profit. No, it is the purpose, it is the cause, it is the belief, it is the goal actually. So when you look at the golden circle diagram, so there are two approaches one can communicate, from inside to out or outside to in. So outside to in means what, how, why. Suppose if you this kind of approach, this is the traditional approach, actually that means no, the what level, it directly correlates to the neocortex brain actually. So the neocortex brain is responsible for rational and analytical thought. Whereas if you communicate from inside out, that is, why do you do the business? I have a strong purpose, I have a strong belief. If you explain in this perspective, it means you directly to the limbic brain. So limbic brain is all about your trust, loyalty. See, for example, oftentimes we should have experienced, hey, I am giving you the facts, figures and everything. You get it, but it does not drive the human behavior. The reason is no, people try to get all the points, but you are talking to the neocortex brain. As a result, it does not drive human behavior. But if you communicate from the inside to out, that gives you a remarkable approach because you are directly talking to the limbic brain that helps to drive human behavior. So at the end of the section, probably you guys think, find your why, find your purpose. So the next slide, let's take to the central dogma of molecular biology. So what is the central dogma of molecular biology? It states that the genetic information flows only in one direction, that is DNA to RNA, RNA to protein. So with the pandemic, I hope everyone talks about DNA, mRNA, protein, spike protein, etc. Actually, so what is DNA? Actually, DNA is our DNA blueprint marker. Actually, it has the genetic material actually. So it determines who you are actually. So how does it control your characteristics? So the DNA carries instruction to make protein synthesis. So DNA does not perform the job. Actually, no, it has two steps to make proteins actually. The first step in the gene expression is the transcription. So the transcription is usually catalyzed by the RNA polymerase. So it makes an RNA copy of DNA. So to make RNA. So the RNA, it undergoes translation. So what does translation mean? So the translation is the protein production. So it occurs in the cytoplasm of both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So what is the protein actually? It is a polypeptide bond. It is a combination of several amino acids actually. So this type of central dogma of molecular biology, it happens in our human body actually. So let's see some of the facts about our human body actually. So have you ever thought about it? How many cells are present in our human body actually? Hundreds, thousands, millions, or billions, or trillions? So we have more than 35 trillion cells present in our body actually. So it's a huge number actually. So it produces more than 25 billion new cells per second. So every new cell is produced from our DNA template. As mentioned in the earlier slide, actually, DNA carries the genetic code actually. So can you ever thought about it? Each cell undergoes more than 100K biochemical reactions per minute. See, look at it. We have more than 35 trillion cells. Each cell undergoes 100K biochemical reactions. So can you calculate how many biochemical reactions takes place per minute in our human body? Wow, it's very hard to calculate. And the next one is, the interesting fact is, our human body consists of more than 35 trillion bacteria. So in the pandemic, we always use bacterial solution to wipe out the bacteria actually. See, we are loaded with bacteria only actually. So bacteria is not our enemy. So actually most of the bacteria present in the intestines, that is the gut bacteria actually, it helps to regulate inflammation and it regulates several types of diseases actually. Actually the gut bacteria is otherwise called as a second brain actually. That helps to stimulate our neurotransmitters in the area of neurotransmitters. And our body contains 60 to 100K miles of blood vessels. Wow. So if you were taken out the 100K miles of blood vessels and laid end to end, there would be more than the distances you can travel all around the world more than 3 times. And then finally, our human body is made up of more than 60% of water. The reason why I show this slide, it gives you the impression how the human body is so complex actually. So every day now, we are exposed to several types of virus, carcinogen, toxins, fungus, parasites. So we are exposing constantly. It's very hard to prevent these kind of things. You got to expose it because you need to work towards the mother nature. So, hey, you are exposing every day. Is it really a life-threatening? No. So it's not a life-threatening actually. Every day now, the human biology, as we saw, it undergoes several biochemical reactions per minute actually.
Is Dr. Shan frozen for everybody, or is it just me?
Yeah, he's frozen for everybody. I think.
It's frozen for me too.
Let me pause the recording.
Can you hear?
Yes.
Oh, sorry for the disconnect.
No,
So
please.
because of the pandemic, everyone should be hearing about the word immune system actually. So what is the immune system? So immune system is a complex network. It is present in organs, cells, and molecules actually. There are two types of immune system actually. That is, the number one is innate immunity. So the immune immunity is the inherited one. So when you are born, the innate immunity triggers actually. So it is the first line defense. It protects against several types of virus, bacteria, toxins, and carcinogens. So the another one is the acquired immunity. For example, the coronavirus one actually. So the immunity, it occurs over the period of time. So when you are exposing these kind of viruses, you create a marker in your body actually. So you're creating a memory cells in your T cells and B cells actually. So the T cells and B cells are otherwise called as the antigen presenting cells actually. So it keeps the memory by constant exposure, and then the T cell it identifies, and then the B cell it produces the corresponding antibodies actually. So can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So in this slide, let's see what is antigen, what is antibody, and then we talk about all the time during the pandemic science, the antibody actually. So antigen, we call the antigen for the foreign object. For example, bacteria, virus, the pathogens, we call the term antigens actually. So what is the antibody? For each antigen, it produces the specific antibody actually. So the antibody is nothing but the protein. It recognizes the antigen actually. So it has either T or Y shaped polypeptides actually. Again, as I mentioned earlier, the polypeptide is the combination of several amino acids actually. So the antibody, it has the binding sites capable of accommodating the antigen actually. So whenever you have new antigen in your body, your acquired immunity actually it responds, and then it produces the antibody for the B cells actually. Once the body produces the antibody it neutralizes with antigen, and it forms the antigen antibody complex, and then it stops the viral replications actually. So actually, it is very, very interesting. Maybe this is something I need to share with you all guys actually. In the pandemic, many people died during the Delta variant or other variants. The reason is not because their body is unable to make the antibody actually. No. Actually, no. As soon as they got the viral replication, many people the body identifies, and then it produces the antibody, the corresponding antibody. What really happened, it really, it was really a big unexpected one for many of us actually. The produced antibody, did not neutralize the spike protein of the coronavirus, but rather in our intestines, in our lungs, you have the spike proteins. So the antibody, it neutralizes the spike protein of your intestine, your spike protein of the lungs. As a result, many people results in blood clot and died actually. So that is called autoantibody effect actually. That was very, very unfortunate actually. So let's see the carbohydrate metabolic pathway. We all here know. So the carbohydrate is our biggest enemy actually. So let's see now how it undergoes metabolic activity actually. So the carbohydrate is a mixture of glucose and fructose actually. So the glucose is a 6-membered molecules and the fructose is the 5-membered molecules actually. So when you consume carbohydrate in the presence of enzymes, the glucose now it is metabolized by every cells. It enters into the our human cell actually. But unlike glucose, the fructose is metabolized in a different way. That is, it is metabolized by the liver actually. So from the liver, it converts into glucose, fat, and triglycerides actually. So in fact, the fructose is more dangerous than glucose actually. So in the case of fructose, it leads to insulin resistance. You should have heard insulin resistance in the diabetes actually. So when you look at the interesting facts, when you have 120 calories of glucose, 1 calorie is converted into fat. Whereas in the case of fructose, 120 calories of fructose, 40 calories converted into fat. That is 1/3 of calories from the fructose has been converted into fat actually. So based on this slide, it is better to avoid high corn fructose actually. It is more dangerous actually. It leads to fat actually. So actually no, there are several types of diseases actually. So I have chosen diabetes as one of the representative example to show with you guys actually. So nowadays, no, the diabetes also now become very common in each and every family. Now you can see 1 or 2 patients actually. So common in the last 20 years actually. So this is the statistics based on 2017 actually. There were 425 million people suffering with a diabetes actually. This number keeps on rising. It is estimated to be 643 million by 2030. Yeah, because it is rising actually. So 1 in 11 adults have diabetes actually. So it's really now scary. We really need to address this kind of diseases actually. So diabetes is responsible for 6.7 billion deaths in 2021 actually. Diabetes cost at least $966 billion in health expenditure. It's a huge chunk of money actually. So we don't need to go into the details. Let me give you the type of diabetes. So there are, I think everyone knows there are 2 types, type 1 diabetes. So it is because of the unavailability of the insulin. The pancreas doesn't able to secrete insulin. That is a type 1 diabetes. Actually, it's due to genetic disorder actually. For many people, more than 90% of the people, it is due to the type 2 diabetes actually. So for the type 2 diabetes, it is not due to the less secretion of insulin, but it is due to the insulin resistance actually. So whenever you take carbohydrates, your pancreas recognizes and it releases the hormone called insulin actually. So the insulin acts as a key that opens up the cell actually, and the glucose enters into the cell actually. That leads to the availability of glucose in the bloodstream is very less actually. For the type 2 diabetes, what happens, you still have your body produces insulin, but the insulin is not able to respond very effectively. As a result, the glucose is not able to enter into the cell. So as a result, there is a spike of glucose in the bloodstream actually. So we don't need to go into the details actually. So the next slide, I will show you the different types of medication available for the diabetes actually. There are several types of medication treatment plan available in the market. So the metformin is the most popular one actually. So it really improves the insulin resistance actually. And then the next one is thiazolidine diones, alpha glucosidase inhibitors, the sulfonylurea 1 glucose transporter inhibitors actually. So the reason why I showed the different types of medication, when you zoom in very carefully, if you have diabetes, so you got to take medication forever. That is very, very unfortunate actually. So this is the part I would like to emphasize actually. So thanks to pharmaceutical company, thanks to biotech company, they have introduced several life-saving drugs in the market. These are all available in the market. However, for several diseases such as diabetes, some types of cancers, actually it does not address the root cause, but it rather treats the symptoms of the diseases actually. See, for example, you have diabetes, you got to take medication forever. It's very unfortunate because it is not addressing the root cause actually. So why do you get insulin resistance? Nobody knows that actually. So it is like the damage control actually. Today you have the spike in the glucose, you take medication, you are under control. Next day you eat, you don't take medication, you have the spike of glucose in the bloodstream. It is very, very unfortunate. It is not, it's not because the biotech company, pharmaceutical company is not addressing, it is not because, it is because the human biology is very, very complex. I showed in one of the slides, the human biology is very, you have 35 trillion cells and each cell undergoes more than 100 biochemical reactions. It's very, very hard to understand actually. So this is the fact actually. So let's see what are all the current areas of research that is going on in biotech and industry actually. The mRNA vaccination. So the recent FDA approval of mRNA vaccine, it underscores the importance of mRNA in the area of cancer immunotherapy, monoclonal antibodies, and many biotech companies know they are extending the mRNA vaccination to other types of viruses, dengue virus, HIV virus, and so many, the influenza virus, so many, they are targeting with the different types of vaccine viruses. So the most thrust areas of research, I would say right now it is going on is the genome editing actually. So why do you get cancer actually? It is the mutation of your DNA actually. So why do you have mutation actually? So what is the really mutation actually? There is an error in the DNA sequence actually. So as I mentioned earlier, many medication does not address the root cause. It treats the symptoms. But the genome editing has the ability to address the root cause. See, for example, you have the error in the sequence. The genome editing technology allows in the particular genome to alter, edit, so that you can repair the DNA sequence and you can cure the cancer actually. So it is the evolving technology. It is a long way to go actually. So for the genome technology, they use TALEN, CRISPR technology. It's a different type of technology. Each has its own advantages and disadvantages. So I would like to emphasize, so because of the complex human biology, for many, many diseases, it is only the fixing the symptoms, does not address the root cause actually. So these are all the technology, it is all evolving. It looks like promising. So it's a long way to go. Probably the guys watching in this section, probably you guys can take the genome editing technology and make a big difference to the community. I'm sure you can make a big difference actually. So until then, I always believe in the preventive things actually. So if you have the cancer, if you have the diabetes, if you have the heart disease, you can manage the show actually. There is no root cause fixation actually. It's not like you take medication for 10 days and your diabetes is gone forever. No. We cannot blame the pharmaceutical company. We cannot blame the biotech company because the human biology is very, very complex. We have understood only 2% of the human biology. It is a long, long way to go actually. Hopefully, the genome editing, we can have the revolutionized breakthrough technology in the future, and then you can repair the DNA sequence and make a big difference. Let's see some of the key takeaways actually. So I always believe exposing to sunlight every day actually, it is one of the most powerful, naturally free, available medications available in the natural resources actually. So many people they think hey, if you expose to sunlight, you get cancer, skin cancer and everything. Well, it's right. You need to weigh in the pros and cons actually. When you look at the benefits outweighs the side effects. Okay. So we think hey, we take the vitamin D supplement. The sunlight is only to get vitamin D. No, there are so many benefits actually. So it stimulates your hormones. It enhances your biochemical reactions. As I mentioned, each cell undergoes 100K, more than 100K biochemical reactions. So when you are exposed to sunlight, you are enhancing all your biochemical reactions. It stimulates hormones, serotonin hormone actually. So because it is a mood enhancer, if you are low in mood, go and take a sun bath for half an hour. You'll be enhanced. Trust me. So it's your free doctor actually. So please make use of this one. So the reason why I showed find your why, you need to know your why. Why are you taking sunlight bath? These kind of takeaways actually. If you know your why, then certainly you will follow all these things actually. So the another one is the walking barefoot on grass and beach, sand actually. Actually, the grounding to earth is one of the another natural and powerful methods to get antioxidant effects actually. So for antioxidant effect, we take all berries and everything. This is the most effective one. Walking barefoot on grass, beach, sand actually. See, for example, our surface of the earth is loaded with electrons actually. So when you walk barefoot on beach sand, so the electrons on the sand, it transfers to your body actually. So already every day your body constantly produces free radicals actually. So when you have the transfer of electrons from the surface of the earth to the body, it gets neutralized. It is the most powerful antioxidant effect. So all things you get it in the mother nature actually. Another important thing I would say, avoid watching TV while eating actually. There is a big reason actually, I would say actually. See, if you are focused, your mom gives you chicken biryani or chicken 65 or something else, you watch TV and like that, you don't know what you are eating actually. When you look at the plate, if you are interested, if you are focused, lot of saliva generates from your mouth. That is more than enough to digest all your foods, man. So your body is the boss actually. See, if you are focused, even if you take 3 plates of biryani, it will get digested very nicely actually. Trust me actually. So the concept of mental satisfaction is there actually when you are focused actually. See, when you look at the food actually, you have so many chemicals released from your brain actually. It gives a sensor actually. So your body is primed with all hormones, all enzymes, so that you make your metabolic process very, very efficient actually. So actually our grandpas they say while you are eating don't read books. At that time we used to read books or watch TV or like that, because there is no explanation of scientific explanation. Because if you follow this one the digestion will take care of it right away actually. So the another one I would focus on is the healthy mind actually. So what do you mean healthy mind actually? So probably I would recommend you guys to watch Dr. B.M. Hegde videos actually. He's a heart specialist. He is more than 80 years old guy. He's very, very active and energetic actually. Wow, man. He shares an amazing knowledge of experience actually. He believes in holistic approach actually. If you follow those kind of videos actually, definitely you can stay away with the diabetes, you can stay away with cancer. So you don't need to take any medication actually. Okay. So as I mentioned, your own body is very, very powerful. You have millions of doctors in your body actually. Trust your own body actually. Believe in yourself actually. So your own body is enemy if you don't care of it. So the reason why I'm emphasizing here is now, young age is the foundation of your future health. If you follow these kind of things, you find your why. Why do you want to do these kind of things? First understand. Then if you follow that one, it is a part of the everyday habit actually. See, every day, you guys are talking to your friends for 1 hour, 2 hours or like that. You take your phone, walk on the barefoot on your backyard, and then talk exposed to the sunlight. See, you get everything actually. It is your natural thing actually. So that's all I have. So please remember, your own body is very, very powerful. It is your boss. You have to take care of it actually. So that's all I have. I'll be happy to take questions. So before we take questions, this is a slide, it's for me only. So this presentation is not meant for any medical advice or any treatment plan for any diseases. So I'm not a doctor, I'm a drug discovery scientist working in the area of cancer immunotherapy, mRNA and gene therapy actually. So I'll be happy to take questions from you guys.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shanmugasundaram. This was a very informative session. I've attended many style sessions. I think this was one of my favorite because it is one of my topics I'm very interested in, but I think you took it a very fun session, and relate it with a lot of things teens do today. I just want to give a quick summary of all his presentation today. I think a lot of key information he gave from central dogma, like what I've learned in bio class this year, but also, going more deep into antigens, antibodies, and a key takeaway about COVID patients this year, and the Delta variant and antigens, antibodies, and how they blood clotting and how that's caused them to die. And then carbohydrates, fructose, glucose, things I've also learned this year in biology class. That's, he's taught us carbohydrates and fructose, the difference and the healthy and unhealthy parts of it. And then diabetes, really important information we teenagers need to learn today. A lot about research. I think it's very cool about genome editing and the evolving technologies we can do today. And the takeaways at the end I really enjoyed, because the watching TV while eat, that's something I've been doing since I was little. So I think that was I could relate a lot to that. So it was very connecting to the teenagers. So thank you so much. And before we go to the Q&A, I just wanted to say thank you so much to Saravanan uncle and Prabhu uncle to offer the moderator role today. It's the first time we're trying this out today, and it was very fun for me to do this today. So for sessions we're doing next year, please reach out to Saravanan uncle and Prabhu uncle to come forward and become a moderator, because they want this to be student run, and it's a very fun thing to do. So please come forward to do the moderator role and the vote of thanks, welcome speech, and help out with these sessions. It would be really helpful for them. And let's go to the Q&A session. The floor is open. You can unmute and talk or chat, whatever is best for you guys.
Thank you, Vishali. Yeah. So students, you can unmute and ask questions, or you can put your questions in the chat window. We can read it for you. Yeah.
Hi, Shan uncle.
Hello.
One of the questions that I have is that what drugs do we use and what do we not use for mild sickness? If we had a low sickness, not too high, what type of drugs should we use?
Well, so the purpose of my presentation is not for the medical advice or any treatment plan. So usually, I always believe in holistic approach actually. So certain general things I can throw actually. So if you are sick or anything else, you go to the doctor. So this is the general thing actually. There is no best medication available in the market to treat viral infection actually. For the viral infection, you should not take any antibiotic actually. Okay, antibiotics is meant for bacterial infection. For viral infection, no. Maybe no, there are in some certain cases you can take antibiotics. That is also when you have the secondary bacterial infection or something else actually. So one of the misleading consumption is no, for many people, not the common people know, I see them know, for the viral infection, for cold, common cold. So they go to a doctor or they go to the medical shop in India, they get antibiotics. No, actually, it works against you actually. So actually, no, there is a saying actually, if you are running with cold, you take medication, so it cures in 7 days. If you don't take medication, it can be cured in 1 week.
Thank you. And I also have another question. So I was researching about spirit bears, and I found out that they were genetically unique and they had a recessive variant. Do you know what a recessive variant would mean?
So can you say it again?
Recessive variant?
It is due to the genetic disorder actually?
No, it just said that they were genetically unique.
Okay.
So, and I heard that they had a recessive variant. Would you possibly know what it meant?
I'm not aware of this word actually. I'm sorry about that. Probably no, I can check and then get back to you. I can get the question from Saravanan and I will get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'd like to ask some other questions. So I have two questions. My first question is that actually in your intro, I saw that you had earned some patents. So what did you get them on, and is the process, could you like elaborate more on the process of it?
Yeah, sure. So when I joined the company in 2006, I worked on the mRNA actually. So we have developed the new reagents to generate the IVT mRNA transcripts actually. So this technology is being used by the current mRNA vaccination actually. So I'm very proud to say that one actually. So the process, how it works actually, you work on a research area of topic. Suppose if it is a very, very novel like that, then we work with our business team, we work with our legal team, and then we present our business case. Hey, this is something novel. Nobody has revealed this kind of information. So we need to protect this kind of information. So the legal team, they put a good business case and then they file the patent application actually. So once they file actually, it will be in the public domain for some period of time so that nobody claims, hey, this is our area of research, this is our information, this company get the information from our side. If there is no objection, then we go for the US patent application actually. So it takes 3 to 5 years to get granted actually. So one of the patents we filed in 2007, we got the approval in 2013 actually. So the priority date starts from the day you file the application actually. So the patent, it is valid for 20 years. So the patent, it's not the secret actually. It is available in the public domain actually. Nobody can practice this information, this technology actually. If somebody wants to practice, they need to pay royalty to us.
Yeah, that was explained nicely. Thank you. And then my second question was that in your presentation, you mentioned that if you're distracted while eating, it's not as good for digestion. So are there like any other harms from watching TV or reading or something while eating?
Yeah, well, actually, the reason why I said no. So you get the maximum amount of your own body actually. See, for example, now your mom gives you the plate of chicken biryani to you, and then you look at the chicken biryani. So your brain gets the signal actually. So once the brain gets a signal, and then it produces the corresponding hormone, enzymes, and everything actually. Basically, no, it's all about your own body, enzymes, and everything to get digested very well actually. For example, now you just close your eyes, you don't know what you are eating or like that. Still, your food gets digested. That the rate of digestion now is very, very slow. But if you are focused, you eat with a lot of grace, you have a lot of saliva in your mouth. That has the great ability to digest your food actually. Even if you are not focused or anything else, your body can digest, but at a slower rate actually.
Thank you.
Other questions?
Hi, Shanana.
Hello.
Vidya here. Thank you so much for the wonderful speech today, Shanana. Actually, I have one question. During at the time of birth, a doctor used to ask the stem cell banking for the babies. So, like, how far it is getting used, like, for the research? Like, do you have any idea? Like, I have very limited knowledge that it is being used for some cancer research or any other major disease research. So, if you have some details, please share with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually. The stem cell research is one of the another thrust areas of research actually. So you deliberately give stem cell and you activate, because right now the ADHD it is really it is scary actually. The number is really growing up actually. For those kind of disorders actually the stem cell research has been going on. It is in the buddy stage actually. It is a long way to go, but it looks like it is very, very promising actually right now. So as I mentioned, the genome editing technology, this kind of technology, it is in the early stage actually. It looks like it has a lot of future actually. So like genome editing, the another area of research, as is mentioned, it's a stem cell research. Many pharmaceutical companies and biotech companies are working on in these kind of thrust areas of research actually. So it is, I would say, it is growing actually. It's not yet matured actually. There are some results that are under clinical investigations, I would say.
Just one point to add, just to follow on Mrs. Vidya's question. I would like to take this moment to give sincere special thanks to Mrs. Vidya Suresh, who is a parent volunteer from BRIA, and who is also a constant supporter for the STYLE program, and who's helping us today to get Dr. Shan's time available for us, and she's the one who helped to make this session happen. So thank you, Vidya, and thanks for your support. We can move on to next students, their questions.
Yeah, any other questions? Feel free to ask. I did have a question.
Sure.
I was wondering, for your mRNA vaccinations, you were talking about that. How has this mRNA vaccination, I've heard it's attracted Pfizer and Moderna for their vaccine creations. Could you explain more about that?
You want to explain more about the mRNA vaccine?
Yeah, and how it's helped with other companies being interested towards it.
Yeah, actually, mRNA vaccine, this area, we have been working for the last 30 years, actually, So we have got tremendous improvement in the last 30 years. It did not happen overnight. Actually, the Moderna, the Pfizer, no, they haven't launched the mRNA vaccine overnight, actually. The tremendous research has been going on, actually. So 15 years now, our challenge was no to get the IVT mRNA scripts, actually. So many companies know they offered the anti-reverse cap analog, the messenger RNA cap analogs, actually. So our company is involved in the messenger mRNA cap analogs, actually. So the mRNA vaccine, it has several pieces, actually. The first piece is the mRNA cap analogs. And then during the formation of the mRNA transcripts, see you have the vaccine. So they selectively they target the main genome, actually. So they make it as a mRNA vaccines, actually. So once you take the vaccine, so basically it works like the regular conventional vaccine. So how it works so it teaches your human body to produce the corresponding antibodies, actually. So you have the mRNA vaccine that is primed in your body, actually. So in the near future if you encounter this kind of virus, actually, so you have the antigen presenting cells such as T cells and B cells. It has the memory in it, actually. So it presents to the B cells, and then the B cell produces the corresponding antibody. So the corresponding antibody, it neutralizes the spike protein of the virus, and then it gets neutralized. So in that way, the viral replications of the virus, it has been stopped, actually.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, any other questions for Doctor?
I have a question. First, thank you so much for this session. It was really interesting to hear. I really loved your take homes, all the messages you are giving the teens. I also loved all the questions from the kids, actually. So one thing I wanted to just check with you, just out of curiosity, is what is your day-to-day work that you do? Like, I know you said about the areas, but what is the actual work is it on the chemistry side, like method development, or what is your actual day-to-day job look like?
Yeah, actually for the last 5 years, I have moved my area to the business side, actually. So I always do the due diligence, actually. We have several sites, actually, manufacturing sites. So each site is using the unique methods. So try to consolidate the manufacturing protocols, harmonizing the protocols and everything. But before that, in 2005, 6 to 2015, I was working in the hardcore, the biotech areas, actually. So as I mentioned, so we developed the new reagents for the messenger RNA cap analogs, actually. So we looked at so many literature, what are all the available technologies, how can we make it different, how can we make it more robust, and how can we make it commercial. So we did an extensive with the literature search, and then we come up with some anti-reverse cap analogs, actually. So we designed the molecules and we synthesized the molecules, and then we did some clinical studies, actually, and then we did some molecular biology experiments. So we did some molecular biology experiments such as translational properties, actually, how much is protein production, and then IVT transcription yields and everything we calculated. So our results, it has given the fantastic results, actually. So based on that one, we filed our inventions in the US patent, actually. So basically, it involves several stages, actually. So the typical week, it varies from week to week, actually. So you start the project for first 2 to 3 months, you have the literature search, and then you wanted to make sure whatever the proposed strategy, it's logical or illogical or something. So those kind of due diligence, we do that. So once you have done the due diligence, actually, so we synthesize the molecule and we collaborate with the different teams, the business team, legal team, molecular biology team, and so many teams. And then once we get the data, we interpret very efficiently, and then we go for the patents, actually. These are all the typical workflow for us, actually.
Other questions?
Raji, do you have, if Raji, do you have any other questions?
No, it was a really nice session. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Raji. I just have one comment to make and a question to ask Dr. Shan.
Sure.
I'm not a biochem expert or biotech expert, but still, I was also able to understand few things that you said. It didn't go all of them didn't go off the head. So it's really interesting, and you try to put your slides to simplify it so that everybody can at least get some of it. So it's really good. Thanks for your efforts. And just one question is based on the current trend. What's happening is like post-COVID, especially. All students community starts talking more about this, RNA or mRNA and how this research happening. And also we are seeing the students earlier, or like 10 years back or 5 years back, people used to be more interested on the computer science areas. Now the students are more, inclining towards the biochem or bioinformatics or biotechnology engineering and various molecular biology and various biotech related courses. And how is the R&D community or biotech industry seeing this this interest in the students community?
Yeah.
Is it coming, or is it really addressing the problem you mentioned? I think you mentioned at some point we although we progressed well, we understood only 2% of the human biology is what you mentioned at some time. So is it good when more students and more youngsters are coming into this industry?
Yeah. So it is a wide area of research actually. So the human biology is very, very complex. So there are a lot of challenges ahead of us actually. So it means we need more people to work on these areas actually. So for example, the genome editing, stem cell research, one of the audiences asked the question, stem cell research. So we have more demand actually with the pandemic, the mRNA immune system, it becomes the household things actually. Before that, nobody knew what is mRNA actually. Who cares?
Exactly.
But now everyone cares about it actually. So we need to build your immune system. So biotech industry is working on the mRNA vaccination. So people have the awareness. So as a result, so we need more people to work in these areas actually. So right now, as I mentioned, the 2% is a qualitative number actually. We have understood very, very less amount of human biology actually. It's a long way to go actually. See, whatever the statin drug, another diabetes, chemotherapy and all these things. So they started 40 years ago actually. So as I mentioned, the mRNA vaccine does not come overnight. More than 30 years now, the work has been going on. As a result, you get the fruit after 30 years. So probably, if you work on these kind of areas, the human genome editing, definitely you will have the breakthrough technologies in the near future. So long story short, we need more people to work in these areas actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the interesting fields.
Yeah.
So you have the self-satisfaction actually. So at the end of the day, see, you have patents, you have publications, even after your death, so it's still in the domain actually, So people, even after 50 years, people see my patents, people see all my research publications actually. So as I mentioned earlier, so how do we work on the new schemes and everything? We need to do this extensive literature search. So if someone works on the new area of research, they do the thorough literature search. What kind of technologies are available in the market? How do we make it different? So how are we going to have the robust process, cost-efficient process, and how to increase the efficiency rate and everything? So we have a lot of demand actually. So it is really, it is one of the thrust areas of research these days, actually, the mRNA, I would say.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Shan. I think it's a very important takeaway that we have a lot of problems to solve in this industry. So students' interest is definitely appreciated. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
We have a question from Shruti in the chat.
Sure.
Did you ever do any internship for biotech for biochem, and how did you find good connections?
Yeah, so we hire interns actually. So the intern should be the university student, not the high school student actually. So we don't encourage high school students. We have been talking. We need to encourage the high school student, but no, right now, no, as of now, no. We hire interns from the university. So if you guys are interested, feel free to reach out to me. Probably I hire interns every year. For this year already the quota is over, I think so probably. So we need to hire next year actually, I would say. So if you guys are interested, feel free to reach out to me.
Uncle, I had a question, like how can we reach out to get the internship? Because I'm in college right now.
Yeah, so you go to our website actually. So there you have the career section actually. There you can see a lot of internship advertisements. So we have so many sites. We have one site in Carlsbad also. So you don't need to move all the way from Carlsbad to Austin. So we have a huge site in Carlsbad actually. So they hire a lot of interns actually during summer, I would say. Actually, usually the internship, it starts in June, July, or it starts in June. It lasts for 3 months actually. The application process, it starts from January and February, I would say actually.
Shruti, any follow-up questions?
Thank you, Uncle. I was also wondering if you could like send the link in the chat for so I can.
Yeah, Shruti, I have the link. I will share it with you. Yeah.
Thank you, Saravanan Uncle. Thank you.
I think Praveshika has another question. How old were you when you were like gonna be a biochemist, and what inspired you?
Oh, okay. Hey, unlike software profession, it's a long way to go. You can't get easy money or like that or like that. I don't say like that, easy money or like that, because now at the age of 22, no, you start making money. But when you come to the science field, you go to the company at the age of 30 to 35 only. So you get a very decent pay when you hit 40 years old actually. It's a long way to go, but if you're really passionate about it, oh man, it gives you a lot of self-satisfaction. I always know. I really love my profession actually. I feel empowered. When I look at my papers, when I look at my US patterns and everything, I feel like empowered like anything actually. So you have the self-satisfaction, you give back to the community. So you have the self-satisfaction. In other fields also, no, you can give back to the community. I don't deny that. But this one, no, you reach directly to the human body actually. You make a big difference actually.
Yeah, it was very nice. Any other questions? If we're done, we can go to the final thank you speech and vote of thanks by Arna Vayapuri. Arna Vayapuri is a very keen volunteer for STYLE, and she is new to STYLE, but also very interested in all these sessions. So I welcome Arna to give the vote of thanks. And thank you, Dr. Shanmugasundaram. Cool.
You're welcome.
So hi, I'm Arna, and I'd like to close off this session with Dr. Shan. So once again, as everyone has stated, thank you for your remarkable speech and for coming here today to help us harness our creative thinking and ideas. So your numerous and various accomplishments, it really gave us the impression that we could excel at several things. And you reminded us that we, as even though we're still children, that we could also be like inventors or researchers or scientists by using our creative thinking, because invention is the outcome of creative thinking. And I also like that you connected the presentation today to our lives. And this session was really an inspiration for kids who might be interested in pursuing similar careers. So I'd like to say some key points that I noted during your speech. So first is that like the human body is comprised of several million bacteria, and that the immune system works hard to prevent diseases. And then it's also hard to understand the human body because there's like trillions of cells that undergo chemical reactions. And then I also liked that your point on how your body can be your enemy if you don't treat it well. And then you also mentioned things such as like sunlight and why it works and grounding, and those could really be implemented in our lives. So that was something nice to know. And we hope many other children can learn about science and biotech careers. We appreciate you taking the time to teach us future generations about your field. And also you had very detailed responses to questions, so that was really nice. And we'd like to thank you for joining us today. We'd also like to thank the style coordinators, Saravanan Uncle and Prabhu Uncle, and SoCal Tamil organization for creating this platform of learning for young adults.
Thank you
so
so
much.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, please, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity to share my knowledge with you all, guys. I really, truly enjoyed talking with you guys. Yeah, I'm sure you guys can make a big difference in the near future, actually. You guys can be one of the drug discovery scientists and working in the area of stem cell research, genome editing, and make a big difference. If you have, in the near future, now if someone has cancer, so identify the repair part of the DNA sequence, go ahead and do the tailoring work and correct the DNA sequence. You're good. You're good to go. And you will be like a normal person without any side effects. That should be cool. The days are not there. It's not far away. Let's hope for the best. But until then, you take care of the preventive ways. Actually, there are several preventive ways in the first place. Exposure to sunlight, grounding to earth, these kind of things, it looks very simple. It makes a big, big difference. You may not realize it actually. So I always know I'm the outdoor person actually. So here, actually, one thing I need to say like that, because in India, we are not living in a very clean environment actually. So once we come to the United States, we think sterile environment is a very good thing. So everyone is spoiled. So as a result, we don't have the sun exposure. We don't have the outdoor activities, washing the hand with hand sanitizer all the time. So you have 35 trillion bacteria in your body, man. So you live in a sterilized environment. As a result, you jeopardize your immune system. See, how do you improve your immune system? You need to challenge your immune system. So constantly, you need to give some job to your immune system. You need to make it very, very active actually. So if you constantly challenge your immune system, you will not have any allergy or like that. See, the allergy reaction, it is because of the malfunction of your immune system actually. See, all the allergen, pollen and everything, it's harmless actually. Because of the overreaction of the immune system, it gives the damage, the sneezing and everything, it releases the histamine. As a result, you get cough, sneeze and everything. But again, I'm telling you like that, if you work towards the mother nature, so these kind of things, you can definitely stay away from these kind of diseases actually. Trust me, find your why, I would say. Go to the Simon Sinek presentation, find your why. Why do you want to do these kind of things? Then you do that.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Dr. Shan. Thanks for inspiring us. Yeah.
Thank you.